Welcome to Get Celebritized, the show where I help you with special guests that I bring on every week to earn more so you can live more, so you can give back more. And tonight I have very special guests for you because I don't just have one guest coming to you. I have two guests coming your way. And I get a lot of requests in my community, and my community is filled with entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurs right now, after 2020 and 2021, are still trying to pivot. They're still trying to get their groundings and their bearings on the pivoting that they may have to do, and especially online with social media and online programs and all this stuff that's happening now, which is good because now you can reach the world and everybody's doing that. But it might be a little intimidating if you haven't been used to it. And you may have been just thinking about, oh, I need to really get more social media grounding. I really need to work on my marketing and my branding. And you didn't have a chance to do it before the pandemic hit. And now everybody has gone that route, and you need to as well. So you're going to absolutely love my two guests tonight because they are marketing geniuses and experts in their own right. Wait to hear their stories about how they come to where they are. Before I bring their beautiful faces up, I'm going to tell you about Nasir Joachim. He's the founder of Royalty Ads, and he has 4,600 plus followers on Clubhouse. We will be talking about Clubhouse, so just hang on to your hat. He has almost 10,000 followers on Instagram, and he is making entrepreneurs money with marketing and branding. And then along with Nasir, I'm bringing up Coach Allison Todd, who has 7,300 Instagram followers and 7,200 Clubhouse followers, and they're both rising rapidly. So if you're listening to this just a couple of weeks from now, it'll already be off the charts, even higher than that. And her mission is to empower women to tell their stories out loud and grow. And without any further ado, let me bring up my beautiful friends right now, Nasir and Coach Allison. Welcome to the show.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi. Well, these are my friends, everyone, and we met on Clubhouse. And y'all know I've been pounding your heads about it. Got to get on Clubhouse. That'll be another story. But we are going to dabble in that a little bit tonight because it does have to do a lot with our successes that we're having. And tonight we want to talk about success and give you success tips and golden nuggets. So I'm going to do this a little bit of Clubhouse style tonight. And I'm going to ask some great questions to my panel this evening, and they'll both answer as we go along. So you're going to hear from both of them throughout the entire show. So my first question is, you both have really interesting backgrounds. You didn't just show up one day and you're these wonderful entrepreneurs and successful business owners. So Nasir, let's start with you and answer this question, which is, what is your background and how did you learn some success tips by doing that? And then Coach Allison, you can answer that one as well.
Yes. So a lot of my skill sets that I have today actually stems from my childhood and me drowning myself in extracurriculars like musical theater, and where I learned how to build sets, lighting, audio, dancing, singing, and then even playing 5 sports throughout my life. So my childhood really has set me up for my success as an entrepreneur now. And it's given me those skill sets that I have now to be able to thrive. And
like, what's one skill set? Give us a skill set that you learned by doing that.
For instance, like graphic design. Graphic design is something that I started out as a child doing with, producing yearbooks from our school. Actually, my junior year of high school, I made the entire yearbook of almost 4,000 students by myself.
Where'd you go? Say, who says you don't learn anything in high school?
Exactly.
Make sure my daughter sees this.
Exactly. And that was something that, it helped me. Learning that skill set has now helped me own my own marketing agency and have that creative outlet and that creative mindset to produce content and make amazing content for my clients.
Yeah, you do. All right. Well, I'm going to bring Coach Allison up. You can answer that question now. It's your turn. Hello, beautiful.
Hello. How are you? Well, I started out not really knowing what I wanted to do. My high school, if we take it all the way back there, I was going to be an actress and a superstar, and that was the goal. I tapped on that a little, but I went on to get my undergrad in communications theory and rhetoric and my master's in organizational development and management. So it taught me how to build a team. It was intentional for me to go to corporate America and be the best HR person there was, but I quickly realized that entrepreneurship was for me. So I applied those skills in learning how to not only build teams for myself and my business, but to build teams for other people, which also lends its way to collaborations. I have a people picking machine. I know how to put the right people together for progress, productivity, and profit.
Wow, that's an amazing skill to have and a talent to have. People definitely need to have that. So before I ask you guys any more questions, we'll really get into some great conversations about nuts and bolts on how to help entrepreneurs market themselves well, how to give them some strategies, because you both are such experts in marketing and branding and growing your business. And you've got wonderful, strong, growing followers on Instagram and Clubhouse, and I'm sure everywhere else on Facebook and LinkedIn, everywhere, every other platform as well. So let's tell the viewers and the listeners what it is you exactly are doing now. And if you want to say if there was anything else you missed out from your past to say, because Nasir, I know you worked in hotels and you also were a model. No surprise there. You're just so elegantly dressed. I love it. So Nasir, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do now currently, and if anything in your past led you to that and gave you some good, equipped you with some good success tips.
Yeah, so you've touched on it a little bit with my hotel background. After, unfortunately, me getting kicked out by both of my parents on two separate occasions, I had to then figure out, what do I do? What do I do now? How do I make more money? How do I survive on my own? Being a spoiled little kid to get whatever I want whenever I ask for it, sometimes from my dad, to then just getting kicked out and not knowing what to do, how to do it, how to make my own money. And I got into hotels and soon quickly realized that I was good at it. And that was something that I loved doing. And then I grew into being one of the youngest AGMs to work for Marriott at only 21 within 3 years. And I've been able to travel the world to different hotels and assist their management team at 18.
Now, we're all impressed. We are all impressed right now. That's great.
And it was something that because I actually come from an entrepreneur background. My dad is one and my mom is one, but neither one of them taught me anything about business. But me managing multi-million-dollar hotels and resorts across the US has been able to equip me with the skills that I need to understand how to run a business. Because the one thing that I really give a tip to entrepreneurs is that when you're at your 9 to 5 today, look at how they are running this 9 to 5, the systems that they have in place for this 9 to 5, the brand that they create for this 9 to 5, because then you are able to shift that into creating your own business. And that's exactly what I did after I got laid off. And I shifted it into my own business. And I realized the area that hotels and franchises were lacking at, and that was marketing themselves. You see Marriott post, post things and market themselves, but people don't realize the franchises underneath, they don't do marketing. Marriott as the brand do, and they rely on Expedia and Marriott and stuff to bring that into them, but they don't actually market themselves. So then I created a business from that, utilizing the skill sets that I had from managing hotels and becoming an AGM with accounting and hiring people, firing people, and made it into a business now that I call Royalty Ads, where we market our clients to new heights and we put our crown onto you as well.
Yeah, you do. What's one quality you had that you think made you good at managing hotels? Because you were so young, so it wasn't like you had 40 years of experience. You're barely 18, 19, 20. What's one quality you feel you were born with or maybe learned in high school that made you instantly good at that job?
It was all of the extracurriculars that I had in high school. And that's why I talk about high school so much for me, because that was the area that really has built my foundation for me to build the empire that I'm destined to build today. Because I've me being in different sports, it taught me how to teamwork. Being editor-in-chief of my yearbook, it taught me how to delegate. So I wasn't a normal kid to, just be in an activity and just say, I'm here, I play a sport. No, I actually understand what skill sets that sport or that activity provides for me and how I can implement it as an adult.
That's so important to know because kids, I know so many times they could just say, oh, I'm never going to remember any of this stuff in high school. Why do I have to go? They can't wait to get out. You know, the youth always, we're all there, the young kids. Now I feel like the grandparent that, I'm wasting my time. I just want to get out there and be a grown up, and you'll be a grown up the rest of your life. But these skills, I'm so glad you mentioned this, you learned in high school, even though you may not remember, you know, writing, reading, arithmetic, and Spanish, but you remember those skills, you know, and social skills. So that's great. All right, we're going to bring you right back, but let's talk to Coach Allison so she can answer the same question.
Repeat the question, please.
Sure, absolutely. What do you do now? What is your job now, that your career, and was there anything in your past career and growing up or even recently in your past careers and jobs that you brought to this job that gave you some success tools?
Yes, I actually own a business and I have a job. So Coach Allison Todd here, guys. I am an operations and digital growth strategist. I help people grow their teams and their profit with operations and digital strategies. I love helping the business owner one-on-one and then taking whatever work we're doing and passing it to my agency that fulfills those creative solutions. So when I started business roughly 17 years ago, the art of social media was just beginning, and building a business was the core focus. How do I help you build a business or take your idea and create a business around it? And I'm still doing that today, only now the focus is growth and scale. So let's get you to making your, you know, whatever your income goals are for the month, and then let's double them. And that is my focus right now. About 6 years ago, I decided that I wanted to give back more. Philanthropy is a super important part of my core, of my being, of my life. And I wanted to be able to do something that created impact. So I took a hiatus from working, which is a great thing you can do once you build a team to support you. I entered a 4-month program, and that program was with United Way. And as a result, I never left, because talking to professionals about the community and what the community needs is work that I would be doing if I wasn't there, you know, earning a paycheck. So the funny joke was always, after 12 years of being an entrepreneur, I got my first W-2 in 12 years. So I'm doing both of those for a very specific reason. And when I came to Atlanta, it was community that kept me, if you will. I'd lived all my life in my hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. My business was thriving, but I'd always tell myself, you know, is it really thriving, or is it just all the people who know and love me? And coming here and realizing that I could spread the wealth, and that what I was offering was something that other business owners were needing was triumphant, to say the least. But the other component was being able to go to a job that allowed me to interface with all of Atlanta and the 13 counties that we serve, and talk about missions that would improve children's lives. Exactly how we got connected. And so when I learned, you know, what the children were up against in our communities, my job is a gift to me to be a gift to others. And I appreciate learning firsthand how to build teams so that I could build a team and automate processes that allow me to do what I love and what I love.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that all. And now I'm going to bring you guys both over here so we can have a conversation together here now. And what I'm going to do is, we all came together in Clubhouse, and Coach Allison, you just touched on it. So we're going to talk about this a little bit. We're all three in business. I have the Get Celebritize and Celebritize Your Business, and I help female entrepreneurs become the go-to celebrity in their industry, teaching them how to really get that mindset around they can do this. They're just as good as anybody else, or better than the ones that everybody's talking about, so they can get up there as well. And the three of us were in a Clubhouse room, and we were talking about my 60th birthday coming up. And I just this, I want everybody to hear this, because sometimes when you just get an idea, you may not have all the plans. You probably don't have any of the plan together when you get the idea. And I'm the type of person that's going to jump on it, just start talking about it, because God kind of works that out. Like somebody over here will say, oh, I can help you do that. Somebody over here says, oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to help you. And it just kind of blossoms. And when I was on that Clubhouse room, and I just happened to say for the first time that I'm about to get to 60 days to my 60th birthday on October 7th, and I want to raise $60,000 for a dear friend of mine who's in my community, and she helps the children of Haiti. And it's lovehimlovethem.org foundation. And not even 30 seconds after I was done saying it, a woman came on and gave $10,000. Mm-hmm. Then the founder, and it's the mom link. If you all should absolutely follow the mom link on Clubhouse, absolutely phenomenal. And then the founder, she gave $1,000. And then this beautiful woman over here, Coach Allison, said, oh my gosh, Aurea, I'm going to donate time to you so we can help wrap up the rest of the 49,000 that we need. That was 5-10 minutes of me being on and in that room. And Nasir, you even chimed in, said you wanted to help with your marketing, and your family, your ancestors are from Haiti. I mean, who knew? So my success tip is hear those dreams, hear those voices. Mine, I always believe, comes from God, and I just start spitting them out, and then God just waters it. So be brave. Just let people know, what are you thinking about doing? What is that idea that you're thinking, oh, if I ever say this out loud, somebody will think I'm just, cuckoo crazy. But I dare you to say it out loud and see what happens. Worst scenario, everybody thinks you're cuckoo crazy. So what? Best thing happens, you get friends like I have now, Nasir and Coach Allison, in my world, in your world, that could help you. So let's talk about what we're doing. We're going to talk more about the fundraiser later, but you all do amazing work. And now I'm working with Nasir. I'm working with Coach Allison. Highly recommend them because they are brilliant. So let's talk a little bit more about the people you serve right now, today. Nasir, how do you help entrepreneurs right now with their marketing? Give us some key golden nuggets to making their marketing, whether it's video or posting, making it just bam, great.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, this is something that I absolutely love, because just like Coach Allison Todd, I love to help people get clarity on their visions. And that's usually the reason why people don't fulfill the things that they don't fulfill, is because they don't have that clarity. And especially when it comes to branding, people think that branding is something that's super hard. But as long as you stick to the brand framework, which is, your tagline, your mission statement, your vision statement, your value propositions, your core values, these are all things that are a framework for a reason to keep you within that box there, so that you have that clear understanding. Not saying that your brand can evolve from there, but at least getting a starting point to your brand. So I love to help people get that clarity. And then once we get that clarity, then we go into marketing. Because if you don't have that marketing and you don't have that brand, that story there, then the marketing is going to absolutely mean nothing.
Exactly. Nasir, go ahead. Tell us about those reels, because you are just fabulous. You all have to follow Nasir on Instagram, because his reels are what drew me to him. They're phenomenal, and he shows you how to do them. So tell us a little about how you got into those reels, and some tips that we could do to help our reels be better, and why we need our reels to be better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So one, why you want reels to be better, and not even just reels, because that's just catered to Instagram, but even just short form video in general, because it's an easy way to get your audience attention as fast as possible, and then deliver them something, if that's an offer for them to purchase, or even that's just a little bit of value to give to them to build your brand awareness. And I've been editing since Microsoft Movie Maker, so it was something that came, very easy to me, and it's super easy for everyone to do. You just have to, one, pay attention to the visuals, pay attention to the audio, and then most importantly, pay attention to the mission that the objective and the point that you're getting across to your audience when you're creating short form video.
So, for example, Nasir, when you're saying be clear about your mission, and then Allison, I want to ask you about the teams, because you work with teams, how we can build a team to help us, because that's a lot of my community's struggle is, there's not enough time. But before I get to that, Nasir, you were talking about the reels, and being clear and having that clarity. Who is your ideal target audience? So maybe the listeners and the viewers can get an idea, oh, that's what you're talking about. So who's your ideal client?
Yeah, so like for me, it's females between the ages of 30 to about 54. And that's not saying that and that's an entrepreneur woman, someone who may be a solopreneur, but also might have a small team, but somebody that doesn't necessarily have the clarity nor the understanding on how to expand their customer base. So your target audience is just a specific person that you're wanting to target, but not saying that you won't reach other people. But when you try to reach too many people, you end up reaching no one. So that just having that clear understanding of who you're speaking to and branching out from there.
I guess I've aged out of your age group.
I mean, but you work with me, so that's a perfect example there. That it's, even though you have a specific audience, not saying that other
you'll get up and down, of course,
younger or older, because I have people younger that are in the group, and I have people older that are that work with me.
Yeah, and they always say to niche it down, and I niche it down to age as well, and I always hate that, but so I just started just saying 40 and up, because that's the time we tend to give up on our dreams. We tend to maybe if you're 40 and up now in this generation, and even 50 and up, you're not as tech savvy per se, like from birth, from high school and grammar school, like our young kids are now. I mean, computers and social media, it's just the way of life. We still are learning it. We're still behind the 8 ball a little bit. And not everybody, but I find that most of us is like, oh my gosh, if I have to do one more social media post, or if one more social media platform comes out, I'm going to scream. So we are dealing with that, even though we're trying to know it well enough to be dangerous and too good. We would absolutely give it away to a team if we could. And that's why I want to bring Allison in. Allison, as we are learning our marketing and we're seeing all these great reels that people like Nasir are doing and show us how to do, at the end of the day, do we need a team? And if so, how do we build a team if we're an entrepreneur to get away from being a solopreneur, which is all by yourself, which is never good, to not just entrepreneur, but to be a CEO of your own company. And you have a team that helps you implement all these things that we're learning every day.
Yeah, great question. I'd love to clarify a couple things though. So I focus on operations and the team, right? Because those are your core focus. Everything that I touch on is the makeup of the entire business. And then I go from giving you the strategy and the plan to grow and act, to then sharing you with my digital marketing agency to create all of the things: websites, social media, SEO, paid ads, and so much more. So it's really a full service agency with me at the helm. The unique selling proposition is that I'm a coach, one. Mm-hmm. Two, I am a strategist. So it's in me to kind of look at your idea and stretch it far and wide to make sure that we're getting the optimum profit from what you're already doing, versus giving you more work to do and less time to appreciate the profit you've incurred. Yes, everyone needs a team. That's how you know that you're growing. We all start out, right, as a solopreneur, doing it on our own. But if you're doing it the right way, what you learn is that you begin making money, you begin getting clients, and there's an opportunity for you to add to your staff so that the CEO, which is you, can focus on the income producing activities while you have a team that focuses on the transactional, the task, the reoccurring regular things that are necessary for your business. And that's when you really know you're in a position to grow. When you begin offloading things from your calendar to someone else's, and you have the opportunity to focus specifically on the growth and scale of your business, you're in the right place and it's time to grow greater.
So, absolutely. So are you saying that if let's say my clients and Nasir's clients, we're teaching them all our good stuff, I'm helping celebritize them, they're in business, they have a business, they're getting celebritized, Nasir's teaching them how to grow their reels and their short form video, and we're teaching them all good stuff, but now they're overwhelmed with there's not enough time in their day to get it all done. Nasir does a wonderful challenge. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit too, that everybody needs to hop in on, and I'm in it. And I'm sure whenever you're listening to this or watching this, you'll still have a challenge going on, but it's the implementation, building the team. So who is your ideal client, Allison? And do you help somebody that comes to you and says, I need a VA, or I need help, but I don't know what kind of help I need? Is it an a la carte service, or is it a one-stop shop, or there are choices?
It's both. It's everything in between. What I recognize is that I meet business owners where they are. I have a level of services that meets the beginning business owner to get started. I have a level in the middle that gives you the framework, the blueprint, if you will, so that you can take action. And again, the full service agency is intended for you to do nothing but grow your business while we do everything in between. So my ideal client avatar, her name is Sandy. She's a CEO. She's a micropreneur.
She got a name.
Of course, that's how we get our clarity. She's a micropreneur earning $250,000 to $500,000 a year between the ages of 38 to 55, and that does flux a little bit to the left and the right. She's got a lot of industry experience, and she's built an audience that's ready to consume her content. She's a type A personality, risk taker, rule maker. She's overwhelmed, but she knows how to achieve in chaos. She invests in herself, and she's very, very intelligent. Now, if anybody that,
right? I know, she's describing us, Nasir. Look at that.
Right.
I'm a little over the age, but that's okay.
But let me also say the pain points are specifically something that you're dealing with, right? So she's a good entrepreneur, but she's a bad CEO. She's time-starved with too many commitments, surrounded by people that don't have structure and organization, right? She does not have a strong team, whether they're absent or they're just not working. She's frustrated with the lack of growth, feeling a little stagnant, caught up in her day-to-day operations, so she can't focus on the growth. There's no SOPs in place. That's your standard operating procedures. And she's an overgiver to her community and her clients. I know that your audience is saying now, oh my gosh, she's talking about me.
I'm saying, oh my gosh, you're talking about me right now. It's just too bad, Allison, you have no idea who your ideal client is. I mean, you're just so vague on the whole thing. I mean, she's got a name, but I want everybody to hear what Allison just said, because that is the clarity we should all have. Nasir, don't you agree? We need that clarity. And I know I'm never that clear on it. I want to help everybody. But what you just said, Allison, it's like when you go to church and the pastor's talking right to you. He's saying the sermon's like, where you were at my house last night. I know it. Talking to me, right? And you just did that because you just painted a story of not just the person, the avatar, but the pain they're feeling, the day-to-day they're going through. And I just love that, because I'm going to rewatch this myself, because I want that much clarity on my avatar, on my community as well. And not just, I want to help everybody. Really, well, what is their pain? What are they feeling? What are they going through? And I was just learning that too. It's really important that we address the pain they're feeling so we can help them get out of it. But they will listen. Those ears popped up when you started talking about those pains. I know mine did. It's like, you are talking to me, overcommitted, not enough time, overwhelmed. You've got a great business. You're making money, but you get to a point where you either have a team and you're not really sure if you need to grow. You need to grow it, or you don't have a team at all because you don't even know where to start and what to let go. So that's fantastic. And I'm hearing what we're doing a lot of over on Clubhouse. If y'all didn't know, you need to follow us all on Clubhouse. You'll see our names. Just search for us on Clubhouse, because that's where these conversations go on 24 hours a day. Not that we're on it 24 hours a day, but you can pop into rooms, and we'll be in a lot of the good rooms. If you follow us, our rooms will pop up in your hallway. And we have these conversations all the time in our pajamas, in our bedrooms, and we're just, it doesn't matter, what you look like, you don't have to dress up, and we're having these really good conversations, and we can tap into everybody and say, well, Nasir, how do I do a better short form video? Or Allison, okay, who should I hire next? How do I know who to hire? Mm-hmm. And we really get into this, so it's so important. But Nasir and Allison, I'm feeling a very special word coming on that I want everybody to really think about. It's what I teach a lot of my clients to do, and it helps bring even more, not just passive income, but it helps you become more of a Rolodex of matchmaking, because good people know good people. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say it, affiliate programs. Because what you do, I already know that my clients already need both of you. And I've sent some clients already, Nasir, and I'm getting, to know you, Allison, now to say, okay, well, you just mentioned probably everybody that I know, including myself. So I want to let the audience know, think about affiliate programs when you know great people like this saying, oh my gosh, this is what I need, but this is also what my clients need. And I will never teach what you guys teach. So why wouldn't I say, even if somebody doesn't have an affiliate program, I'm the type to say, well, ask them. You don't have one? Let's create an affiliate program, a mutual affiliate program. So what do you all think about affiliate programs? Do you do them? Do you like them? Is it something you have installed or something you're creating? Because I think it's a really great thing to do for for people to not to, it's a nice thank you, but it's also a great way to have it as a business when you're top of mind. Why shouldn't we be sending people each other clients, not just every once in a while, but on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a great question. And I would say yes, but I name it something different. So
Okay.
I have active collaborations. While Nasir and I both have digital marketing agencies, I recognize that he is the expert at a video and using video for the purposes of video. So instead of outsourcing to a videographer or another component, I know that I can send my client to Nasir and they're in good hands. The greatest part about it is they want a little strategy before they get to the video. So he and I can often sit in with one client and both service them and both get the profit that we're looking for in a partnership. I think that starts by having some really great friends. I just did a reel about that before we started. I just give thanks for being able to be around people that I enjoy. Nasir and I talk all day long, right? Whether it's on Clubhouse or in the text or whatever it is, we're always bouncing ideas off of one another, and it allows us to stretch what we're already doing and service clients, again, fuller service than the full service. They leave with a complete portfolio of what they need to grow in their business, from operations to strategy to team build up to video to marketing layout. You name it, we got it. And then Nasir and I come back and say, now that you've got the business together, let us get your Clubhouse package together, and we do it all over again. So collaborative partnerships is what I believe in. I think that ambassadors can be your affiliates, right? Be your spoken word advocate, and you incentivize them for that. But the really sweet spot is being able, to call my friend, at the middle of the night and say, I got this $10,000 contract. Can you handle it? And, he won't give me or him a bad name, and they're going to be so happy. They'll stay with us. They go back and forth. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so true. You have to really have that confidence that they're in good hands. And I love that so many of my coaches too, they're always having guest speakers. And I brought Nasir in to be a guest speaker because I thought to myself, I really love when they bring in an expert that does something that we need that my coach isn't doing. So she brings in all these different affiliates, or I like those, like ambassadors. So I said, well, I'm bringing in Nasir, and he was such a hit. Now, Allison, I'm going to bring you in, and then vice versa. I need to get into these midnight calls because I'm here in Atlanta too. So I need to join this and make this a threesome. I'm just saying. Because once they get their act together, and once they get their reels together, then I can help celebritize them and help them get monetized as well. And I want you both to be a really big part of my community and my clients because you're a perfect fit. And this is just such a fun show to do because we're friends and we're doing a big project together. We'll talk about it in just a little bit, but that's why we came together. We really wanted to address the community as a threesome because we are good friends and we are a testament to what's happening over in Clubhouse, because that's where we met and that's where we started having the back chat. That's where we realized, oh my gosh, you're in Atlanta and you're in Atlanta. And it all came about from a fundraiser because these two people are my kind of people because their heart is bigger than their smiles, bigger than their businesses. They want to give back. And you really do attract people like yourself. And I love my community. And Nasir and I were just talking before we went on the air. He noticed on my where'd you notice it on my YouTube about my Live Your Legacy summits that we haven't been able to host since the pandemic, but hopefully they're coming back 2022. And I want you both to be a part of it because the first qualification is you just have a big heart to give back. And that's what we do. We bring a room together of business owners to help them earn more so they can live more, so they can give back more. And I fill the room with amazing charities and nonprofits. So maybe some of your favorite nonprofits can be there and benefit from the people in the room. So, so Nasir, same thing. Talk to us a little bit about more about what you can do for clients right now. Now we're doing, tell me that word again. It's not affiliate, it's collaborative partnerships. Collaborative partnerships. Okay. That's my hashtag.
Yes, I love exactly what Coach Allison said because it's very, very true. To also speak to like the affiliate program aspect to outside of people is like, for instance, like within my challenge, I'm putting together affiliate affiliate links for anyone that can that wants to get like the studio lighting that I have, like mics that I have, things like that. And that's commission that people get from things like Amazon, because Amazon, anyone can sign up to be an Amazon affiliate.
Yes.
And you can suggest products that you utilize that you may or may not even utilize, and showcase it for other people to purchase, and you get commission and money from that. So that's a great way that any entrepreneur can extend their income and get a little extra income. Also,
tell them, before you go on the next one, tell them how they do that. How do you get an affiliate on Amazon? Because I just started doing that as well. And it's a little bit, it's nice to just at least get a little bit of something while you're saying, oh, these are my box lights. Might as well have an affiliate link. What do they do if they want to do that?
Yeah, you really can just go on Google, type in Amazon affiliate program, and then you'll be able to sign up, and then create an actual affiliate program. And then
that easy, simple.
It allows you to search up products. And when you search the product, press get link. And then when you get the link, upload a whole bunch of links with descriptions of what they are, and maybe even pictures. You be creative with it, and then send it out, to people that, for instance, for me, I'm in the video space. So it makes sense for all of my links to be associated with video. If you want to get premium production, like, all of us have. And then someone like, I don't know, that's in like the makeup space, you can get affiliates for makeup. So there's so many different ways that you can take something like affiliate to expand your income and make you a little bit more income without actually having to do extra work.
I love multiple streams of income, and I love doing that because it's a little bit here and there. If you're recommending it, why not get a little bit of something back? And that's why I like the collaboration too, because for so long I've always, been, sending everybody clients. I love doing that, but now it's become more of the norm to say, hey, let's work together. So it's not just, when I think about it, it's like, this is a business partnership now, and I'm going to strategically send you the right people and strategically bring you in as my speaker. We're going to do rooms together, and it becomes more of a partnership. So you get a whole lot more traction out of it than just having a list of 25 people that, if I think about it, I'll refer them to them. It's such a different story. And since you're on, talk about Amazon, I don't want to forget, since this is what I love to do. And Allison, I know you probably are already doing this, Nasir. I don't know if you do this or not yet. Maybe you do. But one thing that I love to do is smile.amazon. Everybody can, if you have an Amazon account, log into smile.amazon, and there'll be a list. If you go up to the left-hand side, watch a YouTube on how to do this if you need to, but you can select your favorite nonprofit, and they give a percentage of every penny you spend on Amazon to your selected, chosen nonprofit organization. And I tell every nonprofit that I know, make sure you're set up there, because I had some that I was working with at my summit, and they didn't know anything about it. I said, they was like, how do you get on it? I'm like, I don't know, but we'll find out. And I could always send them over to Allison that might be able to walk them through, but I don't think it's that difficult to get listed there. And then you can switch it up, have a favorite charity of the month, or have one that you always let Amazon give percentage of everything you buy to that charity. If you're going to shop, why not make it go back to a good cause? It'd be ridiculous to not be on smile.amazon. It's the same Amazon, nothing changes.
It's the other way around, Amazon Smile.
Why does mine come up Smile Amazon?
Really? The smile.amazon is the website.
Yes.
Yes. So I just wanted to clarify, people, if they're looking at smile.amazon.com, but it's called Amazon Smile. How crazy is that?
I know.
Yay. Well, let's smile and do it with Amazon. So if you're on Amazon, pick your favorite charity and do that, because you might as well be giving to a good cause. My charity right now that I'm doing has to do with my 60th birthday in 60 days, and we're 4 days in, and it's Love Him, Love Them. And that's a capital H, because it's a Christian organization. This wonderful founder, Linda Gunter, who helps the children in Haiti. And 1 week after I decided that was going to be my charity of choice, out of all the charities I love and give back to, they're like my babies. I can't pick a favorite, but Linda's been in my life really a lot during this pandemic. She's in all of my coaching programs. We really created this bond. And I said, I really feel called that for my 60th, instead of doing $10,000 donations 6 times to make it 60,000, I really felt in my heart from God that there was a reason I just needed to dedicate this particular fundraiser to her. And 1 week later, after I told her that, I said, I'm going to raise $60,000 for my 60th birthday for you in the next 60 days. And a week later, their prime minister in Haiti was assassinated, and his wife was shot, badly injured, and brought over to Miami to be mended and healed in the hospital. And it's like, oh, that's why. Because the orphans now in Haiti, the whole place is in disarray, and it only costs $2, just $2 and change, to raise an orphan in Haiti. For $1,000 a year, you can fully clothe an orphan, educate, medical, everything that they need, education, all for just a little more than $2 a day. So it just became such a no-brainer. And now I know why God gave me that vision. And then you all to hop in and say, whatever you need, I'm here for you. I just love good friends like you. So it's another reason why I said, watch on my podcast, because we don't just want to do business with people that are great at what they do. We would definitely want to do business with people that are good people. They make the world a better place, that have a cause. I know everybody talks about cause marketing, but it's really just, you want to give back, and you're just open to saying, hey, if I can make the world a little better today, and by helping you help these kids, that's just, that's what I want to do. So tell us a little bit about some of your favorite ways to give back, or some of your favorite charities, because I know you're helping me in my cause, and everybody can go to, I need to put that up, lovehimlovethem.org. You'll see my picture, my birthday wish. This goes to my birthday, October 7th. 2020. But if you're watching this after the fact, please don't hesitate to go over there and donate to those children in Haiti. They will always need you. They will always need an extra $2 or $2,000, and it will never be too late to give. So, but we're going to have a big party on October 7th. We're going to be doing some fun things. Allison, you're putting together some really cool badges for our clubhouse. So there's goodies, there's free gifts. You give $100, you're going to get a brick in Haiti, in the hospital, so many good things. But you guys, tell us a little bit about why you give back and who your special causes are.
Oh, I'll start. I give back because someone first gave to me. I tell the story about moving to Atlanta, but once I got here, there was a tragic incident in my family that we overcame. But it required us to give all we have. Everybody knows that fighting cancer is an all-in fight, and it left me without a lot of the things that I started fighting with, because we needed to win. So as I was literally working with entertainment and celebrities, and I wanted to do something greater. I wanted to be there for the next person. I saw people in a room every day when he would go to chemo that were fighting literally for their lives. They didn't have someone sitting next to them. They didn't have someone that was bringing them lunch. It was just them. And I thought to myself, how many more people in the world are fighting for something and they're all alone? And then when I did the research, I found out that there were so many children that were starting school without meals, and, going home to sleep without beds. And that just became something very, very passionate to me. I come from a family of service. My grandmother was feeding the homeless all the way up until the point she needed someone else to drive her. My other grandmother, never stopped doing her work. So they were a model of that behavior. But when I was living in an experience that required someone else to say, hey, I got you, I wanted to make sure that I used the power of my might, the truth of my word, and the advocacy of my voice to lift up what other people didn't have, so that they too could have someone that said, hey, I got you. Because people don't need you to give them, the next burger. They need you to give them a hand up so that they too, can earn the money for a burger and then go and press that forward. So in short, I could talk all day, but
that's why I love you.
That's why I stay with United Way. The focus is all about the children, to ensure that all the children do well, no matter of what zip code they are living in. So if you're looking for a cause to give to after this, or in addition to Aurea's, I would love for them to consider, things like the Kids Home Initiative, keeping the child, in their home, in their zip code. So when they do run up on family challenges, they're not forced out of their school to just hyper restart their life. They got enough to deal with as it is. So would love to talk to anyone who's interested in how to create that philanthropic path for themselves. But that's my passion. That's my view.
And that's just the United Way. You can Google that and find the United Way for sure. Everybody's heard of the United Way. And I was so glad to talk to you, Allison, because you told me so much more about it that I didn't know. And I'm always loving to find out more about different charities and nonprofits that are giving back. And after this pandemic, during this pandemic, when the pandemic happened in 2020, it really hit me hard how badly it was when kids couldn't go to school, that meant some don't eat. And that never dawned on me, that if they don't go to school, they don't get breakfast or lunch. And many, many children, especially in our Atlanta area, Those are the only 2 meals they get for the day. And then never mind when you're out for summer, it just made me think we need to feed our children here. We like to feed abroad as well, but it's like, let's feed our children here. Let's feed our neighbors. And that became crystal clear to me more than ever when this pandemic started. And we realized how many kids, oh, you're home. Everybody wants to play hooky and not go to school. Oh, let's not go to school. And I realized, well, that's not a good thing. There's kids that can't eat because they're not in school.
Not only that they can't eat, the lights aren't on, the gas is off. Listen, let me tell you, when pandemic sent us all home, the reason that United Way of Greater Atlanta is such an organization in my heart, we raised more than $25 million with COVID specifically.
Wow.
We did the old-fashioned phone tree. We got on the phone and said, this is what the community's facing. How do you want to join? We created the COVID Rapid Response Fund. And
wow.
A lot of people were able to get a gift. Nonprofits were able to stay in business. It gives me chills to talk about it now. But the real gift in this is that you have shown us exactly what I'm trying to show people every day. When you say out loud what's important to you, all we have to do is partner up to power through and create that gift, whatever it is, so that someone else, again, doesn't have to say, I'm all alone. But they can now say, someone thought about me, and as a result, I'll think about someone else.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. And if you all are listening to this on a podcast, I just want you to know I'm showing everyone's website. Follow Coach Allison Todd on Instagram. Is a great place to start. All of her information is there. And Nasir, we're going to have to spell your last name if they're listening, because I know it's Nasir, NASIR _JOACH. I am. Good. And I'll make sure it's listed everywhere the podcast is as well. Look them up. And you all know me, AureaMcGarry. But look them up because this is just the beginning of tapping in, finding out what they're doing, finding out what challenges they're doing. Nasir's doing challenges all the time with these wonderful short form videos. But Nasir, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your giving and maybe your favorite nonprofit, because both of you, I didn't have to say it twice. You jumped in and we still barely even knew each other. We just knew each other on Clubhouse. I hadn't even seen each other eyeball to eyeball yet. And you're like, I'm in, whatever you need. So tell us why you're there, excited about the Haiti fundraiser or something you're excited about.
Yes. So for me, why I constantly give is because even though I come from a background of a privilege a little bit, because my dad was an entrepreneur, I also come from a lot of struggles, from the abuse of my mom and the neglect of my dad, to be honest, with him always being away and not really knowing me as a person. And I've always felt so alone most of my life. And, the LGBT community is a community that people don't realize struggles so much, because kids like me, there's so many kids that get kicked out of their homes every single day. And not everyone is like me that can turn a situation that was horrible into a situation that soon enough they'll be monetizing with their book. So not everyone can take that and turn their lemons into lemonade. And the Trevor Project is an organization that is absolutely phenomenal.
What is it?
The Trevor Project.
The Trevor Project, TREVOR.
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect. For those listening, want to make sure they get that. Okay, the Trevor Project.
Yes, and it's an amazing organization to help give the LGBT community plus the resources that they need to, getting them medicine for a PrEP to prevent from getting HIV, or even people in the community that live with HIV to get medicine for it, and to give the LGBT community homes and shelter from getting kicked out and things like that, and educating people on the things within the LGBT community that people don't realize that is either true or untrue. So there's so many different things that the Trevor Project does for the LGBT plus community that's absolutely amazing. And that's just a little bit about why I love giving back.
And you guys are salted there. I love it. And it's so great when you meet entrepreneurs successful like you guys are. You guys have thousands and thousands of followers, and you are all hard. So again, I want to encourage everybody to find them, follow all three of us. We're here to support you. And we've got just a few minutes, probably maybe 6-7 minutes left. And I want to let you know, we've talked about my fundraiser. We talked about my birthday wish. Go to lovehimlovethem.org. We've talked about Clubhouse, which is how we all met on Clubhouse. So let's let's end the last few minutes with a couple of like rapid fire questions, and because we all know we need to be successful, you can tap into any of us to learn some more. Get your short videos going. Nasir is the man for that. Allison is so amazing at building the team, all of the philanthropy going on. I can help you get celebritized. So tap into us. We will be your 3 musketeers for sure. But I'm going to ask my guests a couple of rapid fire fun questions. You ready for just some fun? Let's do this. All right. So I'm going to ask you both a couple of rapid fire questions. All right. TV or movie that impacted your trajectory of your life or your business?
Ooh.
TV or movie that really impacted you?
The Imitation of Life.
Why? Was there something in that?
It was a movie that I watched with my mother, and just to give everyone a quick follow-up, it's about a daughter to an African-American woman, but she appears Caucasian and she tries to pass in that life. And it gave me the core functions of, the experience of humans and how I want people to feel and not feel, and the core of authenticity. And when we're able to live our truth, we're able to do great things. And that's why I also work with people to tell their full and authentic story. There is nothing to be hidden about all that you are.
Allison, I saw that in your, I think it was your Instagram. It said you help women, empower women to tell their stories out loud and grow. Perfect. I love that. Perfect. Nasir, TV or movie that impacted you?
Yeah, and not just women, because she helps me too. I would say for me, because I'm not a big movie or a TV person, but Perks of Being a Wallflower is one movie that sticks out to me.
Wow.
Because it's just an emotional roller coaster, but it really helped me realize, friends and community and, being different, but how being different is actually your superpower. So
amen.
So many different aspects of that movie that really speaks to me and helps me today.
That's a golden nugget right there when everybody get.
Yeah.
Your differences is your superpower. What makes you unique. Absolutely. Best coach you ever had and why?
Coach Allison Todd.
One thing you've learned from her, Nasir. What's one golden nugget you have learned from her?
Yeah. So one golden nugget is because it's really been so many. I remember one time I was like stressed out about something, and she sent me back a dissertation on how to take that thing that I was stressed out by and flip it in so many different ways. So I've to be honest, I really can't just pick one, because the thing about what she does is that each thing works hand in hand. So you really can't have sometimes one thing without the other. And the way that she explains it to you, you realize that you need this to get to here, to get to there, to get to there. So
each one grows upon the other. I love it. Great. Good answer. Good answer. Allison, how about you? Any particular great coach? Could be living or dead, famous or not.
I just literally had an interview today with one of my coaches from 2020, and I'll say Jay Stone, Jai Stone.
Yeah, I know Jay Stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love you, Jay. Love her.
In addition to being a coach where she gives you, all the things you're not considering, she motivates you to do the things you'd never consider. She then comes back and celebrates that. So she coached me for a year, and today she came back and celebrated my excellence. And I'll tell you, back to community and people, that is what you want. You want someone personable enough to stay connected, but professional enough to get you up off your bum and grow.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm so glad you said her. That's fantastic. Well, and the one thing, you have to have is we have like 2 minutes left and have to wrap up. You all have been so fantastic. I have to have you back. We have to do a follow-up after my birthday wish for sure. But the one thing that really, I hope you all resonates with whoever's listening and watching this Get Celebritized episode is that coaches are vital. They're important. We need them. We need them when we need to cry, when we need to celebrate, when we need to grow, because you always need that person that's ahead of you, that's above you, that can pull you up in whatever arena is their expertise. And there's always people behind you that you need to mentor and coach. And how are we going to do that if we're not being pulled up by somebody else. And I remember when Tony Robbins said, he's got 5 coaches at any given moment. Oprah Winfrey has coaches, 4 and 5, because there's not just one Yoda that is great at everything. There's people that are great at different aspects. And I wish I had all night to keep on talking to you guys. You guys are so special to me. Coach Allison Todd, Nasir, I'm always never going to pronounce your last name right, Joachim. But you are the royalty ads. You are so fabulous. Both of you are fantastic. Thank you for jumping on my bandwagon for my Love Him, Love Them birthday wish to raise 60,000 60 days. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being amazing coaches that I'm just now getting started with. Allison, I'm inviting you right now to come on and speak to my community because you're amazing. We need to build a team because team to me means together, everyone achieves more.
Absolutely.
Teams.
Absolutely.
Do not be a solo. Don't be a solopreneur. Love you all dearly. Thank you again. This is Get Celebritized. Love you, Nasir. Love you, Allison. And to everybody, get out there and earn more so you can live more, so you can give back more. Go get celebritized. See you on the other side, guys. Have a great night. Bye.